Today I'm going to be talking about the 1900s in the world. In 1901, the first Nobel Prizes were created. The most prestigious award, the Nobel Prize, was awarded in Stockholm, Sweden, in the fields of physics, chemistry, medicine, literature, and peace. Mr. Nobel was the inventor of dynamite and other explosives. In his will, Mr. Nobel wanted his fortune to be placed in a fund, which annually should be distributed in the form of prizes. Although there was no public reason for the creation of the prizes, it is believed that he did so out of moral regret over the lethal uses of his inventions in war. Notable winners have included Theodore Roosevelt, Albert Einstein, Winston Churchill, Ernest Hemingway, Martin Luther King Jr., Dalai Lama, Mikhail Gorbachev, Nelson Mandela, and Barack Obama. Very interesting, right? Now, it is time to talk about the Titanic sinks, which happened in 1912. The Titanic was designed by the Irish shipbuilder William Peary to be the world's most fastest and unsinkable ship. On April 10, the luxurious Titanic first voyage departed from Southampton, England, across the Atlantic Ocean. After stopping at Ireland to pick up some new passengers, the massive vessel set out at full speed to New York City. But just before midnight of April 14, the Titanic crashed against a huge iceberg and ruptured at least 5 of its compartments, which quickly filled with water and pulled down the bow of the ship, causing the Titanic to break in half. About 2:20 a.m. on April 15, stern boat sank to the ocean floor. This was a very sad event. But have you ever watched the movie? It's really interesting. Now, it is time to talk about an event that happened in USA. The Great Depression. The Great Depression started from 1931 to 1940. About 9 years! The Great Depression was the worst economic crisis in US history. In April 1939, unemployment in the United States rose to 25%, and cities around the world were severely affected. It started with the Black Tuesday, the fall of the New York stock market on Tuesday, October 29, 1929. 5 days earlier, on October 24th, the Black Thursday had already occurred. This economic crisis or depression quickly spread to almost every country in the world, causing devastating effects everywhere. Insecurity and misery were transmitted like an epidemic. The Great Depression is still considered as the greatest and longest economic recession in modern world history. Now, this is my favorite topic. The first astronauts on the moon, 1969. The Apollo 11 mission occurred 8 years after President John F. Kennedy announced the landing on the moon. Yay! After traveling 240,000 miles in 76 hours, the Apollo 11 entered its descent on July 19. The next day, the Eagle began its descent to a lunar surface. Armstrong immediately radioed to Mission Control in Houston, Texas. The Eagle has landed. On July 20, 1969, American astronauts Neil Armstrong and Edwin Buzz Aldrin became the first humans to ever land on the moon. About 6.5 hours later, Armstrong became the first person to walk on the moon. As he took his first step, he famously said, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Finally, let's talk about the fall of the Berlin Wall, which happened in 1989. In August 13, 1961, the socialist government of the German Democratic Republic, or East Germany, began to build a wall with the purpose of keeping Western fascists from entering East Germany. More than 5,000 East Germans crossed the border, by jumping out of windows, climbing over barbed wire, and crawling through sewers. But in May 1989, the URSS took control of this area. Mikhail Gorbachev administration ordered to open the borders between Hungary and Austria. East Germans began to use the Austrian border to reach West Germany. The East German President Honecker resigned. And 1 month later, with a new president, Germany opened and wall was ordered. Families were able to embrace again. People using hammers and picks knocked away chunks of the wall, and they became known as Marschprojekte, or wall woodpeckers. I hope you liked my video. Thank you so much, Miss Jackie, for everything you did this school year.